Hello. Phrecia is upon us, and it's time to play Impending Doom, my favorite skill in PoE, technically support. This build is going to be basically based off of Puck. Thank you, Puck, for making Impending Doom builds. None of these PoBs are made possible without Puck. Basically, I yoinked all of his PoBs and then converted them to Phrecia. And then we'll just be going off of that, going based off of his PoBs, maybe deviating a few things. But for now, my plans are this. I'll be leveling up as a Wanding Witch. We'll be Wanding with Kinetic Blast, Kinetic Bolt, basic stuff. This PoB is also from Jungrown. We'll just be using his Wanding Necromancer Witch leveling, but obviously, since Necromancer doesn't exist, the only ascendancies we can use, since the basic ascendancies don't exist, are Harbinger, Herald, and Bog Shaman. So we don't have the OP Necromancer start that Jungrown has for cast speed and stuff like that, but that should be fine. We shouldn't go too long without 808 Scorn Helmet, the Foulborn version specifically. So basically, we'll just be leveling normally. And on normal lab, we have a choice. We can either choose Bog Shaman or Harbinger. Herald sucks. The first ascendancy for Herald is absolutely pointless. And does nothing in terms of like power gained on your first. Sadly, the first ascendancy for the Witch in Phrecia is quite underwhelming. So, in my opinion, the best things that you can take are from Bog Shaman. Vial Implications is probably the best. Just 10% less damage, 10% increased damage is quite good. Not bad. And for Harbinger, what I will probably be doing is taking Harbinger of Time. This gives you a Harbinger that gives you a buff. And the uptime should be 100%. Granted that the Harbinger's AI doesn't break or anything, but it should always be casting this. And this gives me 10% increased action speed, which for campaign, it's good. It's more movement speed, it's more cast speed, attack speed, whatever you need. And it'll just make it a bit smoother. Nothing incredible, sadly. Our options are either Harbinger of Time, Harbinger of Focus, or Harbinger of the Arcane. Everything else is honestly useless. Area of Effective Hex Skills does nothing for us early on, because we're not doing hexes or Impending Doom that early. We can, but this still does nothing. We don't need the extra AoE. And non-damage taken, bypassing Energy Shield, absolutely pointless for us. That being the case, Harbinger of Focus is quite good. If you hate being stunned, if you hate being affected by elemental ailments or cursed in the campaign, taking this makes you fully immune to all of those, which is quite good, actually. And you take 20% less damage. And this buff should also be 100% uptime, I think. So you can go with Harbinger of Time for the 10% action speed, this for stun, ailment, and curse immunity, and 20% reduced damage. Or you can take Harbinger of the Arcane, which honestly is not great, but for Wanding, you can use some mana regeneration. Like, who cares? Cast speed, no one cares. It's Wanding. You need attack speed. But the chance to shock and lightning penetration, that's pretty good, because you will mainly be doing, we will mainly be doing lightning damage. So these three are all decent options. This gives more damage. This is just action speed, quality of life. Not bad. So first lab, we either take one of these three. I'll probably be trying out Harbinger of Time skill, see if the 10% action speed actually helps. Honestly, I probably won't feel it, because action speed is just a multiplier on what you currently have, and we probably won't have that much movement speed and cast speed. The next line cooldown recovery does nothing for us early on. It is... I wouldn't say it's pointless, but essentially you're better off taking like another Harvey skill. Or you can take this if you want your buffs to last longer or debuffs to expire faster, which you probably don't. Just take another Harvey buff. It's one of those. So you take, you know, power charge stacking, regular wanding stuff until you get the helmet. So I am thinking I'll probably be able to get the helmet before I reach maps. Giga copium, but hopefully that is what happens. And at that point, our tree, once we get the helmet, we'll be respecking into something like this. So we just definitely take Eldritch Battery. Obviously you have to have 200, 300 or something of the sort energy shield, if not more. And you'll just take all this. One big thing to keep in mind. All of these chance to poisons are super key. You need all of this. Everything on the tree that has anything poison chance, you need it. And you need 2 jewels that have a chance to poison on hit. If you don't have these 2 jewels chance to poison on hit, you won't have a 100% chance to poison. You can have 1, but that'll leave you at 95%. And you do want to hit a 100% chance because it does lower your damage very slightly. Like, for example, if we take off this, we apparently lose 8.5% damage on our poisons, just because of that 5% loss from 100% down to 95% chance to poison. So definitely find jewels that have this chance to poison on hit. None of the other things matter at this point. You just want chance to poison. And of course, if you can get res, like life, anything else on the jewel is just free. But the main thing you want is just chance to poison, because we can't get it anywhere else until we deal with clusters. So this is what our damage will be looking like at essentially the end of maps, or in maps, if we get the helmet by then. And if we do, there is this wand, which is... this wand, like, essentially is pretty dog shit, but at the same time it's not, because Impending Doom can actually trigger this. And you can have 15 stacks, the max amount of wither stacks in one hit for up to 5 to 7 seconds. And this is a lot of damage. Wither is one of the main ways we can scale our damage. The hugest part is the chaos skills inflict up to 15 with wither debuffs on hit. And they last for a long time. 5 seconds is huge. I think the base time for wither stacks is like absurdly short. It's like 2 seconds or 1 second. Something of the sort there. So 5 second, even if it's the lowest rolled wand, is massive. And this wand drops like candy. It drops fucking everywhere. I had, I think on Keeper's League, like 3 of these by the time I ended campaign. But later on, obviously, we'll be wanting a better wand, something like this, even though it's like a 3-statter. Just slap this on, get huge damage. And at some point, we'll want to pick up Sin's Rebirth. This gives us Unholy Might, which Unholy Might gives us Wither on hit, which is massive. Because we have no chance of, like, our crit chance is dog shit. We don't crit. We'll not be able to use the cluster setup to gain Unholy Might, unfortunately. So just spam Sin's Rebirth to get Unholy Might, and that will help us with our Wither uptime. And at that point, once we have a good rare wand, Sin's Rebirth, our Wither uptime should be easily like 10. You can go down to 5, but that's still fine. I doubt it'll be that low. Probably 10 is like a decent amount number. Hitting 15 will be really fucking hard. I don't think that's like viable. So 10 wither stacks with Sin's Rebirth. I could be very wrong. 15 might be fine. So At this point, we only have one golem. The only golem you want is Chaos Golem. We can pick up another golem, which is good. Like, this does add a fuck ton of damage. But there are other nodes and other things that you can take that are probably worth more if you just hate golems. But for 4 points, it's kind of too good, because you get an extra golem to play with. You know, more life leech. I mean, just more life regen, which is comfy. Or if you just want more damage, honestly, Flame Golem is a lot of damage, like a shit ton. Lightning Golem, which is also very good for the cast speed if you want to make it feel better. And to be honest, feeling better versus damage is actually pretty good. So that's essentially it. We basically just have like trash gear. To be honest, a lot of the stuff that Pak put in is super easy to get. Like, a lot of this gear can just be done by the tree. So very attainable. Damage, tankiness. I wouldn't say this is that tanky, if at all. Like, this is very squishy. But, you know, such as early league. I will be probably tweaking a few things, getting more damage instead of life and other things. But most of the time, just being relatively tanky is good, because this Phrecia league is also going to be very rippy. The extra mods on random areas, like random map mods on the area, is going to make things a lot harder. So any people that have played Impending Doom are probably like, why aren't you taking area of effect? We have so much area of effect from our Ascendancy that early on you don't need this. You can just take the extra damage, because cast speed is so premium right now because of this 55% increased CDR. So any amount of cast speed that you can fit onto the tree is fucking massive. Later on in the endgame, we will, well, once we get Awakened Spell Cascade, we will be speccing back into these, just because we need the AoE. And this wheel here, like, fixes everything. You need specifically on your curse, on all of your curses, you actually need 4.8 or 4.9 meters radius, so you can get the 3 overlaps from Awakened Spell Cascade. And taking these and anointing Skittering runes, here, let's put this right here, gets you perfectly at 4.9 with the Ascendancy. And that's just like, it's free damage, because your curse overlaps will go from 2 to 3, and that ups your damage by a lot. So Awakened Spell Cascade is a huge damage multiplier. That's one of the first upgrades you would probably want to get later on if you can afford it, depending on how expensive Awakened Spell Cascade is. And you'll want 2 of them, because you'll want them in your Vixen's Entrapment and the Wager's Scorn Helmet. And then later on, we do have 2 trees, one with no golem nodes, one with golem nodes. You can ignore the levels. Thank you, Pak, again, for making all these Impending Doom builds. So he does have increased AoE here. Essentially, you don't actually need this. Like, this is way over the radius amount, but all of these trees are based on the base game, not Phrecia. So you can actually free up all into this entire thing. Like, you don't even need this Runegraft or Treachery. You can use these 3 points for 4 points for anything else. Later on, if we don't want, you know, to be ailment immune and stun immune and stuff like that, because we can probably solve this stuff later, but this is really huge. It's like a good band-aid. Later on, we probably might pick up the Elysia Ascendancy to create Profane Ground, and this just allows you to have increased curse effect. Essentially 20%, because it's tied with this small node here. They take more damage, increase curse effect, and they have malediction. So essentially it's taking Vile Imprecations, but better. And so we'll just be getting more damage from that. However, the only way we can drop Profane Ground is to use a Bottled Faith. That's technically the best way to do it. So this is like endgame stuff. It's very niche to get more damage, but it's possible if you feel like it. Like if you need more bossing damage. Because for mapping, you'll be clearing basically everything with this damage. Keep in mind, this is the minion version, so you will have 2 golems. Since we can't use elementalist, there's no like 4 golems. So you'll have to choose which golems to choose. Typically, it would probably be lightning golem or flame golem, and chaos golem is the like necessary one. You will always have this. And then for more damage, obviously just flame golem and AoE. So you can either go cast speed. This will give you more damage. I don't know why it's not listed here, because this should be giving you more damage. Like the cap should be like 150 something based on the amount of CDI he has right here. Technically even more actually, because this does have balance of terror. So with what is this, like 78% CDR? You need the upwards to like 170% cast speed or something of the sort. So you'll want some insane cast speed to make use of the sheer amount of CDR that we gain from Harbinger. And I mean, the faster the cast speed, the better the build will feel. But you also don't want to go too far on cast speed. If you go too far, you will cut your damage clear in half because you're casting too fast. Impending Doom and Vixens won't be able to keep up with the sheer amount of casts you do, so you are essentially halving your damage, and you don't want to do that. So you want to fine-tune your cast speed with CDR. I'll be linking a doc in the description that will tell you the exact levels of CDR and cast speed that you like want to maintain, especially if you want to be using like onslaught and action speed, because that will change how much cast speed you have. And that is about it. Later on, this will be dot cap. We will be going into a Forbidden Shaka with a level 35 Impending Doom. Anything above level 30 is just a massive upgrade. So if we equip this, we essentially become dot capped, like almost immediately, because it does just so much flat from the Shako helmet. And at this point, since we're dot capped, we have to be, if we want to scale it further, we want to be pushing it further into like, you know, uber dot cap. And once you reach uber dot cap, you don't even need to scale damage further. You can kill everything. Even this can kill ubers just fine. Later on, we might try other things like power charge stacking and maxing, like instead of spell suppression, we'll probably get like max block, max spell block, things like that. And we'll see what we can do with Impending Doom and Harbinger. This is just a super fun way to deal with Impending Doom. It's always been my favorite skill. I love it a lot. It's just such a fun skill. Sadly, it impacts FPS a lot, so we'll have to deal with it when the time comes. This is essentially the build we'll be playing. We'll be playing Impending Doom, and if anyone else wants to join, I will have my character link down below in the description if you want to keep up with it. If anyone else plays Impending Doom, good luck to you. Hope you have a real fun time in Phrecia. I know I will. And hope you guys all stay healthy, stay safe. See you in the league. GG's.